friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. Well, I'm here today to finally do this video on the mica powders and using them in replacement as whatever makeup you would use. So I've been playing around with these for a couple of months. I've actually had these down here for a few years and then I forgot about them and then never did anything with them. And then it just came to mind one day. I thought, you know, I should play around with those because my purpose of buying the mica powders is they are a natural alternative, though you do have to understand that there are synthetic mica powders and there are actual natural mica powders. And so you got to look into that. The ones in the bags I bought first and then thought, oh, some of these come in little pots. This was a more recent purchase. And so I thought I would try those out because I thought they would be easier to use. Although I'm sure you can find smaller amounts. I bought this big old box here, and what you're seeing stacked up here is not even half of what is in the box. So there are a ton of colors that you can use. Now, one more point before I get into this is that when even though I'll link to these mica powders, both of them were purchased before I had learned more about child labor that can go into your mica powder. So it's important that you look into a company that doesn't utilize child labor in mining the mica. Now, this one here does claim that they do not use child labor, though you won't find it in the original description. I had to find that information in the Q&A section on Amazon. And I couldn't find anything about these ones here, though they claim to be all natural and organic. They say nothing about child labor. I didn't see any questions in there and I didn't ask, but I'll go ahead and link to both of them. And I'll link to another brand I came across that is supposed to be all natural. And that's one of the main things they focus on in the description is that they are obtained ethically, so no child labor involved in mining them. But the only problem I had with that is the natural ones that they had available. They didn't have as many colors to choose from. However, you can really start off with some just basic colors and then blend them to achieve the color that suits you. I'm still in the process of working with them. I know some people are like, oh, I can't get used to seeing you wear makeup. Well, I'm just having fun with it. In fact, back in 2012 and before that, I used to always wear eye color and a lip color because I just enjoyed doing so. Cheek color is not something I normally do, though I did today. I did today only just to demonstrate that you can use these as a cheek color. I don't use foundation. I don't use anything like that. However, by the time I started my channel, I had actually thrown out all of my makeup, like all my eyeshadows. I had a nice big Mary Kay thing of eyeshadows that I had put together myself, all the colors I'd be most likely to use. And I hadn't even used that much of it when I started learning more about what goes into your store-bought makeups, even Mary Kay, and decided I'm getting rid of all this. And so a lot of it just went in the trash. Some of it I was able to gift to other people. And that was why I later on bought the mica powders just to kind of play around with them and then just forgot about them. So when I discovered them, I thought it would be fun to just start working with them. Now, a lot of the colors you see out here, I'll probably never ever use. However, there are more uses than just using on your lips and your eyes and even on your cheeks. And that can be for if you're making your own homemade soaps or candles, you can use them to color your soaps and candles. You can use them on your fingernails. People who work with epoxies, they will use them as coloring for the epoxies, which I think is really cool, especially with all the many colors you can get, but then even more colors you can get simply by blending. So this set here came with far more colors than this set, but most of the colors I'm using are out of this set. In fact, today I didn't use anything out of here, though I've played with some of the colors. Everything I've used from here. When it comes to my lip color, people have been asking me about that a lot. What I do is I use my own homemade skin cream / lip balm, and I just put that on my lips first, and then I take these two powders and I put them on using a brush like this. And so I have this brush marked, so I'll know I don't get it mixed up with an eyeliner brush because it is going to have a little bit of, the skin cream into it. So I don't want to get that into my other brushes. So this one here I use as a base, and it's a purple bronze. This can be a beautiful color if you like that. Just by itself, but to me it's just a little too dark. So then I typically top it off with this rose gold, which by itself on the lips is too light. But these two together, I think, make a really good blend. However, today is a little bit different. Since I am wearing pink, I decided to use just the regular pink right here. It's just plain old pink. And so it's layered like that. So the darker, which is what this one's called purple bronze, and then the pink on the top. Today on my eyes, this isn't something I do very often, only when I wear purple, which isn't very often. I have this, it's just purple. Okay, that's what I use. And when I do that, I use a very fine brush. And in fact, in this case, I had bought these empty sets here of eyeliner brushes. And so today I use the purple. Typically, I'll take a rag when I'm done using it and just wipe it off on a rag. That works pretty good. But this I really like for using in the case of going over the top of my black eyeliner. So the eyeliner I use is just a natural eyeliner. I would link you to it, but it's no longer available now. I'm glad I stocked up on it. I do have a video on making your own homemade mascara, and that also makes a great eyeliner. However, it would have to be used in a liquid form, which was the reason why I bought these. But I just don't like liquid eyeliner. I prefer a pencil, so that's why I go with that. But in this case, I did go a little heavier on the color than I normally would, just to make sure you could see it. And I'll go ahead and get a little closer so you can see what I did there. And then on the main color across the eyelid, I use this same pink right here. Though normally I do more natural colors, and I would use a little bit of this, though, even though it's too light for the lips, it's a little too dark for me to use on my whole eyelid, at least in my personal opinion. So I usually just kind of do that on the outer edges and then have a blend of maybe this and the rose gold that I can use as a lighter shade. Now today I did things really different. In fact, I think it's just a little bit too much down here because I'm just still working with these and trying different combinations. So I used a blend of this, and it was a little bit much. So one of the things you got to know about mica powders is that a little bit goes a long way. And this is why I decided to buy some in the pots, so that when I dip my makeup brush in there, I can more easily tap off the excess. And so that is nice for that. Now, another color I tend to use a lot when I'm going for the more natural look, and I just want very, very natural shades, I will use like this brown right here. It's just brown around, just right over the top of my eyeliner. The nice thing about using a powder over the top of your eyeliner is it helps hold it in place. Plus, you can just soften it. If you're using a black eyeliner like I usually do, you can actually soften the black by just using another color right over the top, whether it be a dark brown like this, or even some lighter shades. This is the blue that it just says blue, that when I'm wearing blue, I'll use this. Silver gray and the bronze are also a couple of other nice colors I do like to use. Now, those are just a few examples right there of what I use. But again, you're going to have to play with it and just kind of try different blends to find out what suits your color. And, do you like brighter colors? Do you like more natural tones? Do you like to match your eyeshadow to your outfits? Like I've been doing that since high school up until a few years before starting my channel. But here is one idea, is that none of these had an olive green, and I do wear olive green quite a bit, and so I wanted that color. I did make an olive green by blending and just kept playing with it until I came up with the right blend to get the color I wanted. I've also been playing with the mica powders in my homemade mascara. You can get, in fact, years ago, I bought just a solid black mica powder. I don't know if I think I experimented with it now that I think about it, and I didn't like it as much as using activated charcoal. And I tried it again recently with the black that came with this set, which I think is that one right there, but it's more like a really dark charcoal. But it's actually a good color for a mascara. But I still find that the activated charcoal is better in the mascara than the mica powders. So you can try playing with that a little bit like I've been doing. But if you're interested in the homemade mascara recipe, I'll link to that video down below. Now let's talk a little bit about the brushes. I didn't have a whole lot of makeup brushes, so I thought I'm just gonna buy a cheap set of makeup brushes. And I think I paid $8, $9 for this whole set, and it comes with all these really tiny ones One of these I did try using for the powder on over my eyeliner, and that worked pretty good. I prefer the other one better because it is even finer. But you get all of these brushes here. So I'll link to the set below. Pretty inexpensive. And then I have several of these that I bought years ago from Avon, because that was another makeup brand I used to use quite a bit. And so I have 3 of these, and I actually use the other 2 like this more for my eyes than I do these, but I do find having something like this here works good for when I get the color too heavy. I can blend it, or even this one here. When I have kind of played around with the rouge colors, we can see this one doesn't even look even. What I did was I used these brushes here, the wider ones, work really good for just kind of blending the color like this. And especially if you get it on too heavy. But I don't do the whole heavy foundation and layers of this, that, and the other thing. It's just not my thing. I just like color now and then. I just like adding a little bit of color, and it has been fun. Now, the other thing I did try playing around with a couple of different times is, since I have all this gray hair right here and it would actually show up. I remember when I was younger, I was like, oh, I can't wait until my hair is fully gray so that if I wanted to play around and just add some color to it, it would actually show up, because usually it doesn't. Stuff like that wouldn't show up in the darker hair. So I did take, one time I was going to my friend's house and just thought I'd play around with it. And I took some of these different colors and then just kind of brushed right in here some of the colors into my hair, starting from the inside and working out, and then kind of had a few different colors in there. And it was kind of fun. I was actually surprised. They actually stayed for the whole day. They stayed in place. So one thing I'm finding about mica powders is they have a really great hold. Well, as an eyeshadow, as a lip color, even as a cheek color, and even in the hair. I cannot believe how well they hold, but they wash off and wash out very easily, unlike certain other makeups. But here's the great thing about this is, like, this pack right here currently, I think when I bought this set, I think I paid $8 for it. And this right here, just these, that would be enough to last me for the rest of my life. And I'd still have a bunch left over, especially since there's colors here I'd probably never use as a makeup, though I might start using them in soaps and stuff like that, because I hadn't thought of that before. And I only bought this set here so I could experiment with it and also kind of play around with having those containers, because I thought that would be really nice to have containers rather than the little plastic bags. Right now this set is $10 when I last looked. And this set, I think when I bought this with all the colors, I don't remember, 72 colors in there. I think I paid $25 for the whole set, which to me was kind of worth it, not just to have all the different colors to choose from and to play with, but to also have these containers like this to have them stored in. You can get packages that have even more. You can get some that have less. And something like that, again, would last you for the rest of your life. And now you can compare that price to like Avon makeup, which tends to be on the less expensive side. You could pay a lot less and have these powders that you can do a multiple amount of different things with, not just as a makeup or a hair color, but for other things. And they could last you forever and save you a ton of money. And I like these better than any of the eyeshadows I bought through Avon or through Mary Kay. I love these much better. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Now I finally got it out, and it just gives you some ideas for those of you who are interested and wanting to learn what are you doing different? Well, this is it. And honestly, I don't do this every day. I only do this for now when I'm shooting videos, or if I happen to be going anywhere, which is not very often. So typically only 2 times a week do I wear any of this stuff. So anyway, don't forget to check out the links, including the video links I'll be putting in the description box down below by clicking on more or show more. And if you have any comments, suggestions, ideas, what you like to do, please share those in comments down below. And thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.